A phone rang just after midnight. At first, nobody thought it mattered. But less than 12 hours later, an entire family had vanished. No packed bags. No signs of forced entry. No blood. No bodies. Just an abandoned dinner table. A television still running. And one chilling clue investigators wouldn't understand for another 18 years. The call lasted only 47 seconds. And according to police records, it may have been the last normal moment inside that house. The Harper family lived in a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of a small American town. Nothing about them stood out. David Harper worked long hours as an insurance broker. His wife Elena taught music lessons from home. Their two children, Noah and Lily, were known around the neighborhood for riding bikes late into the evening during summer months. Neighbors described them as ordinary. That's what made the case terrifying. Because ordinary families don't disappear overnight. Especially not all at once. On August 14, 2008, security cameras at a nearby gas station captured David Harper purchasing milk and bread around 9:18 p.m. He looked calm. Normal. Completely unaware of what was coming. At 11:53 p.m., Elena received a phone call on the house landline. The caller ID displayed, unknown. Phone company records later confirmed the call originated from a prepaid disposable phone that was never recovered. Elena answered. The conversation lasted 47 seconds. Nobody knows what was said. But according to a neighbor, minutes after the call ended, the entire mood inside the Harper house changed. A woman living across the street later told investigators she saw lights turning on and off throughout the home shortly after midnight. She assumed someone was searching for something. Then came the strange part. At approximately 12:26 a.m., the family's garage door opened. But no car ever left. 30 minutes later, the garage door closed again. Nobody knows why. The next morning, Noah failed to show up for school orientation. Lily missed a scheduled dentist appointment. David didn't appear at work. By evening, friends began calling the house repeatedly. No answer. At 7:42 p.m., police entered the home for a welfare check. What they found made no sense. Dinner plates remained on the table. Half-finished glasses of water sat untouched. A family photo album lay open on the couch. Elena's purse was still hanging near the kitchen doorway. Every passport remained inside the house. Even stranger, all 4 cell phones had been left charging in the master bedroom. It was as if the family had intended to return within minutes. But they never did. Police immediately suspected foul play. Yet there were no signs of a struggle. No broken windows. No blood. No fingerprints from strangers. Nothing. The only unusual detail was found in Noah's bedroom. His bedroom window had been opened slightly. Just enough to let cold air inside. Detectives initially ignored it. But years later, that tiny detail would become critical. As media attention exploded, theories spread everywhere. Some believed the Harpers had entered witness protection. Others claimed they were victims of organized crime. Internet forums became obsessed with the case. Because the deeper investigators looked, the stranger the story became. Police discovered David Harper had recently withdrawn nearly $20,000 in cash over several weeks. But the money was never found. Then investigators uncovered another disturbing fact. 3 months before the disappearance, David had reported someone following him home late at night. He told co-workers he kept seeing the same gray sedan parked near his office. At the time, nobody took it seriously. After the family vanished, that statement suddenly mattered. A statewide search began. Forests were combed. Rivers were searched. Volunteers covered hundreds of miles. Nothing. No vehicle. No bodies. No evidence. It was like the family had simply evaporated. Then the anonymous letters started arriving. The first appeared 6 weeks after the disappearance. Typed in all capital letters. No fingerprints. No return address. The message was short. Stop looking inside the house. Police initially dismissed it as a cruel prank. Until 2 more letters arrived. Each one repeating the same warning. Inside the house. Investigators returned to the property multiple times. Walls were inspected. Floorboards examined. Pipes searched. Still nothing. Years passed. The Harper home remained abandoned. Locals avoided driving near it after dark. Teenagers broke in occasionally hoping to experience something paranormal. Some claimed they heard noises upstairs. Others swore lights turned on by themselves. But one rumor terrified everyone else. Several trespassers reported hearing a phone ringing from inside the empty house late at night. Even though electrical service had long been disconnected. Police blamed urban legends. Still, nobody stayed inside the house for very long. By 2015, the investigation had nearly died. Lead detectives retired. Evidence boxes gathered dust. Media coverage faded away. The Harper family became another cold case. Until a construction company purchased the property in early 2026. Workers planned to demolish the old house completely. On the second day of renovation, a contractor noticed something strange inside Noah's bedroom. The dimensions seemed wrong. One wall extended farther than the exterior structure allowed. At first they assumed it was an architectural mistake. Then thermal equipment detected a hollow section behind the drywall. Police were called immediately. Investigators carefully broke through the wall. Behind it, they discovered a narrow hidden crawlspace. And inside that crawlspace, they found something horrifying. 4 old folding chairs. Children's toys. Empty water containers. And dozens of canned food wrappers. Someone had lived there. For a very long time. But the worst discovery sat near the back wall. A small disposable phone. The same model linked to the mysterious midnight call 18 years earlier. Forensic teams searched the hidden room for DNA. What they uncovered shocked investigators. Every single DNA sample belonged to the Harper family. No unknown suspects. No intruders. Only them. Detectives suddenly realized the terrifying possibility. The family may never have left the house at all. According to investigators, the hidden crawlspace had likely been constructed decades earlier by a previous homeowner. Completely invisible from outside. Soundproof. Ventilated. Impossible to notice without demolition. But why would an entire family hide there voluntarily? Then detectives reopened David Harper's financial history. That's when they discovered something buried deep in old banking records. David had secretly emptied retirement accounts months before disappearing. Not because he planned to flee, but because he believed someone was coming for his family. Co-workers eventually revealed details police never knew. David had become increasingly paranoid during the final months before vanishing. He installed extra locks, covered windows, purchased emergency food supplies. One co-worker even remembered David saying something chilling during a lunch break. "If the phone rings again, we're gone." Suddenly, everything changed. Investigators now believe the midnight phone call triggered a psychological collapse. Some experts think David convinced his family to hide temporarily inside the crawlspace. Maybe he believed dangerous people were outside. Maybe he intended to emerge after a few hours. But something went terribly wrong. Because evidence suggested the family remained hidden inside that space for weeks. Possibly months. And then, they disappeared again. No bodies were found in the crawlspace. No exit route discovered. Nothing explaining where they ultimately went. But investigators uncovered one final detail that still haunts the case today. Inside the hidden room, written repeatedly across the wall in black marker, were 5 words. "He knows we are here." Police have never publicly identified who he was supposed to be. No suspect was ever arrested. No confirmed sightings of the Harper family were reported after 2008. And the disposable phone found in the crawlspace contained no usable data. Even now, detectives remain divided. Did paranoia destroy the Harper family? Was someone truly hunting them? Or did something even darker happen after they entered that hidden room? One thing is certain. At 11:53 p.m., a phone rang inside a quiet suburban home. And after 47 seconds, an entire family vanished into one of the most disturbing mysteries investigators have ever seen.